In this Pipedrive Beginners Guide, we are going to go over all of the important features of the Pipedrive CRM so that by the end of this video you are going to learn how to run your own business on Pipedrive. To begin with, we will have to get yourselves a free Pipedrive account. Now, if you want to support me for completely free, I will leave you my referral link down below, but either way, no hard worries if you don't. Just head over to Pipedrive and then click on Try it free right here. Then you will have to put in your work email that you will have to use for your Pipedrive account. Now, as I'm just going to set up a test account, I'm going to use a temp mail as for this video. Then just click on sign up in 2 minutes, and now we will have to answer some questions to basically give Pipedrive a better idea on what kind of state our account should be. Now, depending on your answers, your setup can be a little bit different, but in general, it is going to be the same all over. So to get started, you will have to select if you want to either join a company or if you want to add a company. So if your company is already available in Pipedrive, obviously just click on join a company right here. But as for this video, to basically give you guys full insights, I will just select add a company right here. Then we will have to get ourselves a new Pipedrive account basically. So as for my name, I will just put in Elias, and then I'm going to choose a password. I'm also going to put in a random phone number. Now this is not going to be mine, so please don't call this phone number. And then I'm just going to click on continue. If you do have a promo code, you can put that in right here. As always, if there is a new promo code, I will leave you it in the comments down below or in the description. However, I think if you're going to use my link, you're even going to get a 30-day free trial and not only 14 days like on the regular plan, but I'm not sure. Either way, just click on continue, and then you will have to select what kind of job role is basically the best for you, describes your job the best. So as you can see, you can just select sales representative, marketer, finance, admin, project manager, and so on. Now I will just select other right here. Then we can also select if we already do have experience with other sales tools. So for example, if we've already worked with other CRMs in the past, we can select it right here. Or however, if you don't if you haven't used any sales tool before, you can also select that. Right here, you will then have to choose what kind of goals you want to set for your CRM. Now, it doesn't really matter what you're going to tick right here. So I will just select close deals faster, and then I'm going to click next. Now we will have to add our company information onto Pipedrive. So I will just add a company called Krause Media. And how big is your company? I will just select 2 to 5. As for the company industry, this is going to be media production. Now, as this isn't listed right here, I will just click on other. And how many people are in your company? Now, just to make this a little bit more complicated and to give you full insights, I will just select 2 to 5 right here. And then I'm going to create my Pipedrive account. This is going to take a couple of seconds. Alright, perfect. Now we are on the Pipedrive dashboard. As you can see, this is basically similar to all of your CRM dashboards, but still right here on the left, you are going to have all of the different subcategories of your Pipedrive account. For example, right here we have leads, then deals, projects, campaigns, sales inbox, and so on. And we are going to go through them from top to bottom. So no worries, basically, if you don't understand anything. I'm going to try to make this as understandable as possible. So to begin with, right here, we will have our leads inbox. So basically, we can either just add new leads manually using this form, or we can also import leads from a spreadsheet. So if you already have leads from on other CRM providers, and if you want to import them, you can do that using the spreadsheet. And if you want to find new leads, you can also try the lead booster, which we're also going to get into in just a minute. But for now, I will just add a new lead, and I'm going to call this lead Marcus. And then as for the organization, I will basically just say that this is going to be Marcus Company. And then as for the value, let's say that this is worth 2,000 euros. We can also set a label. So basically we can right here set what kind of state this lead is in. So for example, let's say that this is going to be a warm lead. So basically, let's say that Marcus is already familiar with our product, but hasn't actually joined the sales call and so on. Now, as for the owner of this lead, this is going to be myself. However, if you're going to add more users to your projects and to your company basically, which you can do, more on that later on. You can also align leads to different kind of team members of yours and so on. As for the expected close dates, we can also set that right here. So let's say that this is going to be in 1 week, and then we can also set who this item should be visible to. So let's just say all users as for this. We can also set an email. So let's just say that this is going to be marcus@marcuscompany.com, and we can also set a phone number if we want to. Now we have added our first lead, which is going to show up like this. So basically, right here we can then set the activity and basically what kind of state our lead should be in, and we can do that by converting this lead to a deal basically. So as of now, we only have this put in as a lead. However, if we're going to convert this to a deal, we will have to then first of all select a pipeline. So I'm just going to select the standard pipeline set up by Pipedrive. However, I will also show you how to set up your own custom Pipedrive. So by now converting this to a deal, this is going to be automatically added onto our deals section right here on the left, where we will then have this lead show up. So right here we can then also set in what kind of position and in what kind of state this deal should be in. So in this case, let's just say that we have a demo scheduled. As you can see, if we're now going to click on this deal, we also see the basically the progress right here on top, and we can also add all sorts of different activities, propose times, calls, and so on to this menu right here. Now, this is a little bit complicated to get started with, so please hang tightly. So right here on the left, you will see a summary of your leads. So right here, you can then add a new label, for example. So let's just say that this is going to have a label called cold email. So let's just say that we actually got this deal using cold email. I will just save this and I will add this label onto our lead. All right, perfect. And then we can also set the expected, let's just quickly do it like this. And now it is added. And now we can also set the expected close date once again. This is going to be in 1 week. And then we can set the activities. So let's, for example, say that we have a demo scheduled for let's just say that we have a demo scheduled for Tuesday, and then they're going to have around 2 days to actually either accept the agreements or to decline the agreements basically. So once we have saved this is also going to show up in the activity bar and is going to be shown as a task. We will also have our propose times right here, as well as the call button. So basically we can add a phone number to this deal to then either make calls directly from a web app, or we can also then just transfer all of our calls to our phones to basically call with our phones. Either way, the email feature right here we're going to cover later on. Now, if you have any files that are actually used for this lead right here, you can upload them right here. This could be proposing items, could be details to this lead, and so on. Same goes for documents. If you have any documents, like for example, if you want to have a contract right here in your Pipedrive, then you can also do that by simply just connecting your Pipedrive account with Google Drive, OneDrive, or SharePoint. And then as for the invoice, right here we can actually install an app which is going to help us with invoicing. So basically, I'm going to foreshadow a little bit. Now, Pipedrive does have tons of great apps which you can all add onto your Pipedrive account to basically use advanced features. So let's, for example, say that if you want to have an invoice integration, you could now add QuickBooks onto your Pipedrive account. If you want to have advanced email marketing features, you can use MailChimp. If you want to have advanced project management features, then you can use Asana right here. And basically they have tons of different features. Same goes for, they also have some in-house features, in-house apps, as you can see right here. As for the marketplace app, they do have some in-house features like Linkport, I think, but generally they are going to have quite a lot of apps and integrations which you can use for your Pipedrive account. But let's now go back to the deal section right here. Now, once you're then going to, once you set up the invoicing app, you can also create invoices right here in this section and so on. However, one thing which I would like to touch on is going to be this try lead booster feature right here. So I will just click on it and then I'm quickly going to activate this. Now this is going to have a 14-day free trial so that I can actually show you at each feature by its own. So let's get started with the live chat. Now lead booster is basically just a way to either get more leads or to basically communicate with your leads to get higher qualified leads. So as for the live chat right here, this isn't currently loading, but basically Pipedrive is going to allow you to directly set up live chats inside their menu. However, one thing which I think actually is a little bit better even than the live chat feature is going to be this setup chatbot feature, because this is actually going to be an automated chatbot where you can then automate the lead generation process. So first of all, get started by picking one of the themes right here on the left. For example, if we want to have this green, we can select it right here. We can also set a custom theme by using this color picker and so on. However, we'll just go with the green one, I guess. Then we can give our bot a personality. So let's just name this one Lucas, and then if we would want to, we could also add our own custom image. Now this is pretty self-explanatory, so I'm not going to use that. And as you can see right here, you will also get tons of different languages which you can actually use. Now, as for this video, I will just select English US. However, you are going to have the option to change the language if you want to. Now, as for the conversation template, this is going to depend on your own situation. So the first option that you can use this lead booster for is to get more leads. So basically this is going to be a simple way to identify interested leads. You can also use this to book more meetings essentially. So you can basically let leads book a meeting from a sales rep's open time slots instantly. So you don't actually have to use third-party integrations like Calendly. You can actually use their in-house features right here. You can also use the chatbot to qualify and route leads, and this is by far the most powerful feature in my opinion, as you can build up your chatbot as a lead bot to start generating new leads using input forms and so on. And then you can also use the live chat feature right here if you would want to. Now I will actually go with this qualify and route leads option, as I think it is by far the most useful. So I will just click on create playbook, and now we are going to have our chatbot show up. Now this is going to be simple, basically similar to all sorts of marketing automations, email automations tools that you maybe already have used in the past. So as you can see right here, our trigger is going to be this greeting thing right here. And then as for the first action, this is going to be a question called what brought you to our website today. And if we would actually now want to change things right here, we would just have to select this, and we could then, for example, add a new option, which is going to be, I'm looking for information. I'm just making anything up, obviously. And then as you can see right here, we would have a third option, which is going to say, I'm looking for information. And if we would now select this, we could say, okay, that the lead status of this lead that is going to go through this process is going to change to either qualified lead. And now we could then continue this automation, or to disqualified lead. So basically, as for I'm just browsing, this obviously wouldn't be a qualified lead, and therefore the lead status is going to change to disqualified lead with a closing message right here, which you can actually also customize if you want to. Now as for the I'm looking to buy selection right here, basically this obviously would be a qualified lead. So right here you can then go through the process of first of all getting their personal informations like email address, and then you can also ask how big their company is and so on. You can also add new cards right here, and you can basically build your own automation using this tool. So actually, if you have any more questions on this chatbot feature right here, make sure to leave me that down in the comments, and I will try to get back to you as soon as possible. And if you find this video helpful, make sure to like and subscribe. But for now, I'm just going to click on save, and now we have our chatbot basically set up, and we could then use this chatbot to integrate it onto our website if we would want to. So as you can see right here, you would just have to click on installation, and then you can actually continue with integrating this. Now as for the web forms, this is also going to be another way to actually get leads onto your system. So as you can see, I will just click on try web form, and then we once again have some different kind of options, and on the right you are going to see the preview of each sort of option. So the first one is going to be contact us. So this is basically going to be a template where each kind of lead and each potential lead can just put in their name, email, phone number, and message, and your message as well, their message, and then this is automatically going to show up in your Pipedrive CRM account. Registration is also going to be another template, as well as download material, and then you can actually also start off by blank, and you can then create that form to basically build this up from scratch. As for the prospector feature, right here you can basically find all sorts of other leads, potential leads, that you can then use for cold outreach and so on. So to actually use this feature, just click on Start Prospecting, and now you will have to search prospects. So let's, for example, say that we want to look for countries. Let's say that we only want to look for people inside the United States. Then we can also set a new search criteria, which is going to be the department, which is going to be, let's say, accounting. And then we can set the organization details to 11 to 50 employees. Add another search, maybe add another detail right here, which is going to be the organization. So let's say that we are going to look for capital markets, and now obviously I'm just making things up, and then you can click on search prospects, and now you're going to see tons of potential leads that you can outreach and use for your service. As for web visitors, this is going to be an add-on which you can add onto your website, where you can then basically uncover hot leads and hidden opportunities amongst companies visiting your website, which you can then use to contact your leads before competitors are even aware of them. So also pretty useful. One other integration which I would like to touch on is going to be this messengers integrations right here. So as you can see, you can actually connect your Facebook business communication account messenger within Pipedrive, and then you can then use this to focus on sales, share contacts, and also seamlessly sync everything to basically have more contact with your potential customers. Let's now continue by setting up projects. Now within Pipedrive, you can actually set up your own custom projects to reach all of your goals faster. You can use this for your own, or you can also use this within your team. So to get started, just select try for free, and then you can create your first projects board. So either just use the default names for your board phases, or you can also use stage names from an existing deals pipeline right here. So for us, we only have our own default pipeline. However, if we would actually want to create a new pipeline, we can do that by clicking clicking right here on new pipeline, and then we can name this sales pipeline custom, and then we can basically just customize everything the way we want to. We can first of all change the name, probability, as well as the routing, and then we can also delete certain stages or add new stages if we would want to. But I will just click on Save Changes right here. And then if we are going to go back to projects, we can actually select this Sales Pipeline Custom if we would want to. However, I will just select the pipeline as we already used it in the past as for this video. And then I'm going to click Activate Projects, so that we actually activate the process feature for our account. Now, this is how the project dashboard is going to look like. Basically, this is going to be similar to kind of tools like Trello or Notion, where you can basically have all sorts of different subtasks and tasks, which you can then move around to basically just see the process of all of your projects. So as you can see right here, we do have a sample project, which we can just click on, and where we are then going to see all of the details. This is going to basically look similar to the deals prospects, which we've already covered beforehand. So once again, right here on the left, we do have the general settings, and then we can add files, notes, emails, as well as documents onto this sample project right here. But I will just select a new project, which is going to say make our first sale. Then I'm going to select the pipeline. We can also set the owner right here, which would obviously be just me, which would be me. Then we could, for example, say that, okay, we want to add our deals. So let's just say that we want to add our Marcus company lead onto this project. And then as for the contact person, by default, automatically Pipedrive actually got that this is going to be Marcus, as we've already set up this beforehand. And then as for organization, this is also automatically going to be set to Marcus company. As for the labels, we can set to do, in progress, or on hold. I will just select in progress right here. And then I'm going to click on save. Now this is going to show up in our contact board, and we can basically just drag this around depending on what kind of state we are in. So as for our example, we have set this to demo scheduled. So if we are going to basically go onto this, we can see that, okay, the content made is already qualified and we've already got our deals right here. As you can see, as for the pipeline, this is already set to demo scheduled. So basically this is going to be the correct process. Now, once you've proposed your offer, you can then mark your company deal as either won or lost. So right here, we can let's just say that this is going to be a win. And now this is going to be won. And now we have this super cool animation, which actually is pretty nice, I guess. And then if we are now going to fast forward to the insights right here, we can see that this is going to show up. 1 second, this has to load. Okay, right here, as you can see, this is now going to show up right here. So we do have an average value of 1 deals with 2,000 euros, as we've set this beforehand. And then we also have all sorts of different activities completed right here. And basically this is going to show the process of all of our deals, projects, leads, and so on. So one other thing which I would like to touch on is that if you have your deals section right here, you can actually change the view of this by using this section right here. Now, as I personally am the most familiar with pipeline, I also basically every time only use the pipeline feature, but you also have these other features if you want to. And same goes for lead and project view. Right here, you can actually change this to a title view if you want to. As for the next option, which is going to be the campaign, you can actually use Pipedrive to send out email campaigns, which I think is actually pretty good. So as you can see, you can click on get started for free. Then you will just have to start your free trial. Now, one thing which I would like to touch on is that these email campaigns are pretty good, don't get me wrong. However, they also aren't advanced or basically anything special, and other tools like Bravo or ActiveCampaign or MailChimp that are specialized in email marketing obviously are going to have better features and more features essentially, but still this is a pretty good feature considering that this is actually inside the Pipedrive CRM. So to get started, we will actually have to enable our two-factor authentication to send out emails. Then we will also have to add our sender info, which is actually required by law. And then we will have to mark our contacts as subscribers to actually send out email campaigns. But either way, once you have done that, you can get started creating your email content by either creating a new template or by using one of your existing email templates or by using the HTML editor. Now, one thing which I have to highlight is that Pipedrive actually does have quite a lot of templates which you can use for completely free. Now, these templates aren't anything special, to be completely honest. However, still I think they're actually pretty good looking. So for example, let's just say that we're going to select this template right here, and then the Pipedrive editor is going to load up. And as you can see, now this is going to be basically similar to all sorts of other editors that you're probably already familiar with. You will just have to select the element that you want to edit. Then on the right, you can change the text color, change the padding, change the letter spacing, and so on. And you can also change the text by simply just putting in your new text right here. If you want to, you can also change the text, the button label right here, or change the URL, link type, make function, and so on. So this is going to be pretty self-explanatory, but still I've just wanted to touch on this. Once again, if you want to basically edit any sort of element, you will just have to select it and then either use the settings on the right or just edit it directly within the editor. Once you're ready, you can click on Save and Close, and now you can actually set your subject line. So basically you can just set your subject as well as your preview text. So one thing which I would like to mention is that the preview text doesn't necessarily have to contain any text that is going to be in your email. This should just be something that is going to have a high CTR, a high click-through rate, and which is going to get people clicking onto your email. Then you can also set the sending time as well as set email tracking if you want to. Now, as that's basically it for the email campaigns feature. As for the sales inbox right here, you can actually unlock the sales inbox, which is going to automatically connect your email account with Pipedrive, and where you can then see all of your sales in an organized way, which actually is pretty useful. Now, as for the activities right here, we first of all do have the demo scheduled with Marcus, which we've set beforehand, and which is going to be on the October 24th. Now, by default, this is going to be set to the list view. However, what I actually like to do is changing this to calendar view. And as you can see, like this is just going to be a plain calendar, which is then going to display all of the different kind of tasks that we have to do, which I actually pretty like. So I think this is actually super useful, because this is just going to give you an overview of all of your tasks and all of your to-dos. Either way, as for the context right here you can just add new context onto your list, which you can then use for cold outreach, which you can then use for email campaigns, which you can then also use for deals, and so on. Insights is something which we've already covered beforehand, but one thing which I would like to mention is that if you want to add more settings and more statistics basically onto this, you can just click on Add New, and then you can add a report, for example. This can be anything from campaign performance to lead performance to revenue forecast and so on. And as for the product feature right here, you can actually add new products, which you can then use for marketing options, and which you can then use for organization. Now, as for the marketplace, this is something which we've actually kind of already mentioned beforehand, but either way, right here, you are going to see all of the integrations that Pipedrive is going to offer, which you can then use. So as you can see, as for the, you can right here click on See All Apps in Marketplace, and right here, you are then going to see a complete overview. Now, as for the other features, right here, you can actually also set up automations. Once again, you can actually click on plus automation right here. And this is also going to be similar to any sort of email marketing automation. So to get started, you will have to set your trigger. In this case, let's just say that a trigger is going to be that a deal is going to be created, okay? Then I'm going to click on Apply Trigger, and then we can set an instant condition. So let's, for example, say that we want to add a filter, then this is going to match that. Let's just say that this is going to be a rotten deal, and this isn't going to make sense. I just want to give you guys a basic idea on what can be possible with this automation settings right here basically. And then we can set up an instant condition. We can also wait for a condition, and we can then set up an action. So for example, right here, we can then send out an email. We can then convert the deal to an existing lead. We can set up a campaign. So we can send out an automated email campaign containing 3 or 4 emails. We can also directly add a new node to the deal. So let's, for example, say that we want to add this node, and the node is going to say something like deal created. And basically, you can just really be creative with this. I will just select this right here. You can basically just play around with this, and you can organize everything the way you want to. So this is actually a feature which I really like and which I will have to highlight. Now, if you want to know more about other CRM tools, you can either watch this video right here, or you can watch my comparison video right here. Thank you for watching, and if you found this video helpful, make sure to like and subscribe.